Finally, Buell are here. The Super Cruiser is here. Let's get into this. So, Buell have announced that they are starting production, actual production of the Super Cruiser, the long-awaited Super Cruiser. You know, the one that was launched in 2023, or giving us first insight, and then we had all the styling and the link up with Roland Sands. It seemed like an age ago, and I was starting to feel that is Buell going the way of Damon motorcycles with their electric motorcycles that never seems to come. And then Buell, obviously, they are saying, no, we're definitely coming. We're just waiting. We're taking our time. We're making sure that everything's in place. All our ducks are in a row, as it were. Now, here in the UK, they've opened up a couple of dealerships for Buell, and they're starting to take orders. Now, I'm not sure how many orders have been taken and everything. This is not what this video is about. But it's very interesting that the Super Cruiser is going to be arriving for UK bikes here in 2026. I got a feeling in the United States you're definitely going to be able to get this right now or very, very soon. Here, again, I'm reading an article here, Motorcycle News, props to them again. Buell have officially started production, long-awaited 1190 V-twin Super Cruiser. It features the same engine in their other bikes as well. And it's going to be starting on, it started, past tense, Friday the 26th of September, so they've already made it, right? And it's it's going to be available. It's going to be available to dealerships. Now, I'm not sure in the States where it's going to be available. I think you can also order direct from Buell as well, can't you? But it's interesting. The first reveal of the concept in 2023, the striking muscle cruiser has since been seen in various iterations, with the first full production model now being donated to the Barber Motorsports Museum to be preserved as a piece of revived company's history. Okay, that's interesting. So the very first one, so 0001, as it were, on the serial numbers, is going into a museum. Interesting. These hand-built machines are a true blend of performance and art. CEO of Buell Motorcycle Company, Bill Melvin said, "We're proud of the talented team whose dedication and craftsmanship transformed the Super Cruiser from a bold concept into a production motorcycle." When this first came out, I was very much into this. I was very much, I love it. I just love it. And it's got the look. It's got that kind of Dyna vibe to it. It's kind of got that Dyna street stunting bike to it. I just loved it. I like the look of it. All the promos, all the early videos that we got, all the early photos. It just looked good, and I like it. That upswept exhaust here, and they've tweaked it as they've gone along as well. It just looks like a great bike, right? And I would be pleased to be riding this. No doubt, I'd be pleased to be riding it. So it's all about style and it's all about performance with this bike. Fantastic, right? Absolutely fantastic. So then I thought, okay, well, when is this bike actually going to arrive and how much is it going to cost, right? So then you're looking at this and you think, okay, well, it's taken a long time. How many are going to be made? How readily available are they going to be? And what's the performance figures going to be like? And so on and so forth. And you kind of start asking questions and you start scratching your head. But here it's saying that, when asked about the possibility of the Super Cruiser coming to the UK and to Europe, co-owner of Rainbow, Ian Johnson, told Motorcycle News, "If I was already taking deposits on it, I'd have done over 100. It's ridiculous. But there's nothing else out there like it." So in other words, yeah, I absolutely agree. There's nothing else that being sold by Harley Davidson and by Indian that resembles this. My argument is that they used to be, right? And certainly there are many people who turn their Dynas into something like this. Granted, air-cooled, but similar to this. That's all I'm saying, really. That he's expecting the first UK machines to be here between February and March in 2026. That he regularly receives 20 to 30 calls to the dealership each week to ask on the progress of the model. UK prices are unknown here, but in the United States they're listed at $25,900 for US customers, and I don't know about delivery taxes and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that is the price that you'll finally pay. Alongside a claimed 172.6 brake horsepower, there's also suggested 94 foot-pounds of torque at 8,500 RPM. So again, you're going to have to ring it on a little bit, which should be enough to push a 220 kilos of dry weight down the road quite nicely. So it's saying here. It's in a steel trellis chassis, different from the other bikes, 1100 Hammerhead and the 1190 SX. Those are the sports bikes as well. Siblings, in which it shares an engine, same engine, right? As I said before. Front and rear wheels are 17-inch for decent road base tyre choice, and upside down Fox forks, and a monoshock rear for the company. So if you're comparing, let's say, this with likes for let's just say, I don't know, let's just say the cruisers of Harley Davidson, let's just say the Lowrider S, you're going to be looking at it and saying, well, this is a better bike, right? This is the better bike in terms of performance and everything like that, just by quickly weighing these two up. But then you got to look at the price. Okay, look at the price and say that's 20,900 or 25,900. Let me just have a quick look at Harley Davidson, because this is where we're going to have to make the biggest comparison here. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the number one comparison, of course, but you kind of got to look at that and go, right, Lowrider S. Let's have a look at that. Lowrider S. That's 19,999. Okay, I know there's always those add-ons and everything like that, but just as a base price, you're talking what, $6,000, $5,500–6,000 difference, right? Okay, so one is air cooled, one is liquid cooled. Let's just have a look at Indian. Their Chief, right? Indian motorcycle. It's got to be. They're still going to be a lot more expensive than there. So let's just allow all here. Motorcycles. Let's just have a look. And they're going to be in the Chief. Let's see, almost like a... Okay, let's just go the Dark Horse Chief Bobber. 19,600. So what's that in the US? That's probably going to be about the same. I haven't checked the US dealership prices, but I would imagine it's something like that, 19,000–20,000. So you're talking another $5,000 or $6,000 on top of that. Okay, granted, not the same bike, not the same performance, and you're going to pay that little bit extra. And also, these are not mass-produced bikes as well. So I understand the price differential there. But I think, who is this going to be aimed at? Well, it's going to be aimed at people who want something different, want something away from Harley Davidson, want something different away from Indian, want something that's going to be performance-based, that's going to look good and look what they want. So I come back to what could you have got before? Now, not necessarily the same price, of course, but there's a lot of bikes that you can get a similar kind of look to it, and you can put your money to it in terms, and I dare say you could upstage it and you get a very similar kind of looking bike, and possibly an even better performing bike. But you'll have to let me know on that and let me know what you think of that. But I'm convinced that you would definitely buy an older Dyna, and you could get it up certainly to the looks, and because there's not a great deal of difference here, so certainly to the looks, and then into the performance once you've upstaged it as well. So there's gonna be a lot of people out there probably thinking, I love this bike, I love this Buell, I love this Super Cruiser, I just don't like the price because I can just match it up with that. It's a bold company, it's a bold move to release a brand new bike at this price. And I think what it's going to do, it's going to be aimed at those riders, those bikers who are not really that concerned about price and not really concerned about trying to save the money or get that value, which I sometimes talk about in my videos. I think this is purely aimed at those people who are ride or die, want something new, Buell. They want something away from Harley Davidson. They want performance bike, a performance cruiser, and this is what they're going for. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. It looks great. Don't get me wrong, this bike looks great. I'm a fan. I was a fan right from the very start. I've been pimping this bike, and I've been pimping Buell for a long, long time. But the longer it's gone on, the more questions I've asked, and it's taken 3 years to bring this bike to production. And you know, you would imagine that's not a great deal of time. However, there's been a lot of lead time in trying to promote this bike. I get it. That's what they need to do, right? But it's almost like now it's finally here. Now the realization is, I wonder how many of these bikes are going to be sold. If you're looking at speaking to dealerships, they're saying no, people are desperate. They're putting in orders for this. They really want this bike. That could be so. I'm not denying that. But I would imagine there's going to be a lot of people out there weighing this up and thinking, do I 25+ thousand, you know, dollars, pounds, dollars, shekels, whatever it is, or do I go for something else that is going to give me something similar, maybe not quite as much, but I might be able a similar looking bike, and I can just upstage it as well, especially if you're very good with the tools, very good in your sort of performance applications, that kind of thing. I love this bike, don't get me wrong, love this bike, but I'm not sure on the value. That's what I'm saying, I'm not sure on the value. But it's one hell of a bike, and it's one hell of a sports cruiser, a performance cruiser, if you will. If you like what I do here, keep on watching the videos, and I'll catch you again. But Buell, they're finally here. Catch you again. Bye now.